Before this video begins, make sure you guys subscribe. Also, make sure you join my new Discord server. Lastly, if you want some merch, the link is in the description. And make sure you follow me on all my social medias. Yo, what's up guys? It's Nick from Big Ends Gaming. Welcome back to another MLB The Show 20 Top 10 Positional List. And today we have episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Episode 8. And in this episode we are going to be doing the right fielders. And this is a very good list, but no list will top the list that was in the previous video, aka the center fielders. That's just... It's ridiculous how stacked that position is in this game. If you didn't know, the top 3 center fielders on that list are my 3 starting outfielders. So, yeah, that list is stacked from top to bottom. You guys should definitely go check out that video. Today we're going to be doing right fielders, and make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss out the future lists, which are going to be starters, relievers, and closers are going to be in one video. Starters are going to have their own video, and then relievers and closers will have another video. And then I'll be giving you guys my top 10 players in Diamond Dynasty, like players just in general. I didn't do that last year, but that came to my mind about a week ago. Shout out to Bobby Shmurda. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing that at the end. But today we have right fielders. So yeah, let's get into it. Our honorable mention for right field is going to be a Stage 3 card, and it's going to be face of the franchise, Tony Gwynn. And the reason why Tony Gwynn is an honorable mention is pretty simple. This card it's a good card. Like when you look at the stats and you look at it with face value, he's a great card. Almost max contact, the power isn't there. 65-55, that's not good power, but he has max vision, great clutch, good discipline. He's a diamond fielder with good speed. But Tony Gwynn, he's just one of those hitters that just gets on base all the time. I did not really use him an incredible amount, and I kind of struggled with this card. But MLB 19, Tony Gwynn was one of the best contact hitters in the game. His card did fall off a little this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's right back to where he was next year. If he comes out early in the game, he definitely could. But this card, he can do pretty much everything for you except hit homers, and that's very valuable in that game. In this game, I value power a lot more than contact and discipline and vision and all that stuff. But I do value fielding and speed too with an outfielder, so he's going to be our honorable mention. Number 10 for right fielders is going to be an awards card, and it's going to be Stan Musial. Now, when you compare them, Stan Musial, he's technically worse. Compared to Tony Gwynn, he's a much better hitter than Tony Gwynn. He's a worse fielder and he has no speed. Yes, but you can put this card at first base, which is good. This card is miles ahead of Tony Gwynn at the plate, which is crazy to say. Well, you can make a debate between Stan Musial and Tony Gwynn, but them two are some of the greatest hitters of all time in the game of baseball. So that's generally why I said that. But Stan Musial, maxed out contact, significantly better power than Tony Gwynn. That's really the only reason why he's ahead of Tony Gwynn. I'm gonna be honest. If Stan Musial had like 80s power or like 70s power, I would probably put Tony Gwynn ahead of him. But Stan Musial is gonna be number 10. At number 9. Now this might be a little controversial because of how low he is, but I am going to go with Gary Sheffield. Now with Gary Sheffield, when you compare him to Stan Musial, it's pretty close. I'm giving it to Gary Sheffield. And the reason why I'm saying controversial is because of how low he is, because everybody loved this card in the beginning of the game. Now, I'm going to be honest, this card started out pretty slow for me, and then I picked it up with him. I got his prestige, and his prestige did pretty well, but he was definitely a replaceable card. You know, being a righty bat, I just struggled to hit with him against right-handed pitchers. Against left-handed pitchers, I did very well. But against right-handed pitchers, I just struggled to hit with him. There's nothing wrong with the card. He's a great card, and he was the NL Collection Reward. So he definitely had insane value in the first couple months of the game. But as the year went on and we saw more 99s, there better options came out. But Gary Sheffield, he has a great arm. He's not a good fielder, but he has better speed than Stan Musial, and the bat, you can make an argument for him over Stan Musial's bat. So I have Gary Sheffield at number 9. Number 8, we're going to go to the market because this guy I do not have and I never will have because there's a market cap, which I hope they get rid of. It's Vlad Guerrero. And this card, I feel like this card just never got a chance to be popular in the community. He came out right between some other really big outfielders. Like, he came out right before Mike Trout, I'm pretty sure. He came out around the same time as some other outfielders that I can't remember. But Vladimir Guerrero, this card is still very good. Comparing him to Gary. Now, Gary, hitting-wise, he's worse than Vlad. The only stat he hasn't beat is probably discipline and power versus righties. But besides that, Vladimir Guerrero is a better hitter than Gary Sheffield, card for card, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Vladimir Guerrero is a better hitter. Fielding-wise, they're pretty much the same card, except Vlad has a stronger arm, and speed, they're pretty much the same thing. So I have Vladimir Guerrero at number 8, and it's very close. Like, you can't go wrong with either of those cards, but I just put Vlad ahead of him just because he's a little better at the plate. Like, it's very minimal. Number 7 is going to be a finest card, and it's going to be Nelson Cruz. Now, Nelson Cruz, if you look at his stats, he's very good. 92, 125, 118, 125 for hitting. The vision's a little low, but vision isn't very important. The discipline in the clutch, very good. The arm, I don't know why they keep giving him a strong arm. Maybe it's just to boost his overall. I don't think he's played a game in the field in like at least 4 years, so I don't know why he still has a strong arm. The thing about this card is, let's be honest, this is why we need the DH to be permanent in baseball, so we can have DHs in Diamond Dynasty, because this card would fit perfectly in the DH. Now, this card, he's not going to be able to make any starting lineups because of that fielding and that speed. It's just true, and it sucks, because this card would be in a lot more lineups if he was DH eligible, but because of Clown Manfred, who won't approve the universal DH, we can't get it in Diamond Dynasty, which is really frustrating. And that's really what's holding this guy back from being higher on the list, is because he has to be on the bench. That's really it. This card is a phenomenal card. So yeah, Nelson Cruz, number 7. Number 6, I have one of the XP Reward Path cards. Where is he? There he is, Reggie Jackson. Now, Reggie Jackson, hitting-wise, he's going to kill righties. Lefties, he's still serviceable, not amazing. He's still very good against lefties, though. Good discipline, good clutch. The fielding, not great. The arm isn't horrible. It isn't horrible, but it's not what you want it to be. And he does have some speed. So, Reggie Jackson, the reason why I have him ahead of Nelson Cruz is because he's physically able to be put into lineups. Nelson Cruz, the only reason he's below Reggie Jackson, like, look at this comparison. There's not much that Nelson Cruz is worse at. Now, yeah, the speed and the stealing, but whatever. When you look at the significant stats between these two cards, here's Reggie Jackson, and here's Nelson Cruz. There's not much that Reggie Jackson's better at, but, I mean, the only reason he's ahead of him is because you can physically put him in your lineup. So Reggie Jackson is going to be number 6. Number 5, we have another awards card, and it's going to be Bryce Harper. Now, this Bryce Harper card is so underrated. Now, I didn't really get a great opportunity to use him just because there were better cards, but this card is very underrated and underused in the community. When you look at his stats, on paper, you're like, oh, he's a really good card, but there are better options. There aren't many better right field options. This card gets it done. When you compare him to Reggie Jackson, he's significantly better. When you compare him to Nelson Cruz, when you compare him to Nelson Cruz, he is much better than Nelson Cruz. Bryce Harper, he is very good. He's almost a 5-tool card. He hits for power, he hits for contact, he has a good arm, he has some speed, and the fielding is a little low. Now, it's still silver, and he is silver in his secondaries too, which is nice. But this card is very underrated in my opinion, and I have Bryce Harper at number 5. Now, number 4, this card I had in my lineup for a very long time. And I was really good with this card. And then right around the time where we started to see, like when we got Mike Trout, we got Griffey, we got the finest cards, and we got the Willie Mays card. That's really when I started to get cold with this card, and it was almost perfect timing. But Larry Walker is my number 4 right fielder. This card was so good when I used him, and I know, 339, his OPS is 990 though, his homers 28. The stats aren't going to blow you away, the stats that I have with him, but he was so good. He was very good. But Larry Walker, if you look at these stats, he's a 5-tool player. Contact, check. Power, check. Arm, check. Fielding, check. Speed, you can give him the check. But Larry Walker, look out for an MVP Larry Walker card next year. If you thought this card was good, just wait till he gets an MVP card. That was the year where he hit, I think he hit like 360 something, and he had like 50 something homers. It was crazy. I don't know the actual stats or what year it was because I'm 17 and I didn't watch it, but it was a crazy year, and I hope they give him an MVP card for that year because it's just going to make this card even better. Like, all these stats are going to go up. But Larry Walker, he's my number 4 right fielder. Coming in at number 3, we have someone who is surprisingly held behind some other guys in lineups. And that's going to be Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth, of all people, is going to be the number 3 right fielder in MLB The Show 20 Diamond Dynasty. It's crazy to think, but, you know, they went with the approach with Babe Ruth to not give him maxed out stats and just make it like an even playing field, which I guess is cool. I like him. I'd rather have him just all maxed out because it's Babe Ruth. He's the greatest player of all time. Babe Ruth, when you look at the hitting, he is the best hitting right fielder in this game. There's no question about it. But you have all those center fielders that I mentioned in the last video that have similar hitting and better fielding and speed. And yes, you can put Babe Ruth at first base, but you have first basemen that have similar hitting and better fielding. This card is very good, but he just got overshadowed. Babe Ruth, great card. He's still a silver fielder in 4 spots, and he has a solid arm, not horrible speed, but he just got overshadowed. That's literally it. Babe Ruth, number 3 right fielder. Number 2, we're gonna go with the finest card. Number 2 and number 1 are both Dodgers. Number 2 is gonna be Mookie Bets. Now, Mookie Bets, like, when you look at this card, it's just phenomenal. Look at these stats. This is a 5-tool card as well. Contact, check. Power, check. Arm, almost maxed out. Fielding, literally maxed out. Speed, check. This card can literally do everything, but there's one thing that holds him back, and that one thing is his stats versus lefties. This card, oh my goodness, he would be probably the best, definitely the best right fielder in the game if he had better stats against lefties. But the number 1 right fielder in the game is going to be Cody Ballinger. Now, Cody Ballinger, he came out very late in the cycle, but he is just really good. He was everyone's favorite last year. He's my favorite, or he's everyone's favorite this year. When you look at the stats, it's close, but you got to give the edge to Ballinger. His arm accuracy, reaction, and fielding is a little lower. Like, big deal. I'd rather be a much better hitter, which he is, than Mookie Betts, and the speed is better too. And he can play first base. This card, the only reason he's my starting first baseman and not my starting right fielder is because of those 3 center fielders. So yeah, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I've been your host, Nick from Big Guns Gaming. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.